Hi, I'm Tyler.
I'm Evan.
And here's the news. Coming up this weekend, the National Video Game Museum is having its grand opening in Frisco, Texas.
I live there, or near there.
I live actually there.
Yeah.
The museum's stated purpose is to preserve the history of video game industry by archiving not only the physical artifacts, but also the information and stories behind its creation. That's straight off their website.
All right.
On top of being a traditional museum, the National Video Game Museum will offer educational programs and seminars aimed at helping visitors towards a career in the industry. And, to top it all off, most of the exhibits will allow visitors to actually play the video games rather than just stare and drool longingly. I like video games. You like video games, Evan?
I'm a pretty big fan of video games, believe it or not. But yeah, that sounds really, really cool that they're actually having sort of educational sort of stuff that like you can probably actually go there on a field trip and just be like, hey, I'm gonna learn about video games and then I might play some video games.
Yeah, I feel it's definitely like different from like a normal history or science museum, because I mean like most history or science museums, yeah, there's some interactive stuff, but it's not like solely dedicated to like interactive media. This is a pretty unique thing as far as museums go, and
Yeah.
I'd say it's even more of a unique thing as far as video games go. I actually did some research into it. As far as I can tell, this is the first like actual video game museum in at least the United States, if not the world.
Yeah, I mean like, I don't know if you've ever been to the New York Nintendo World, and they have sort of like a small little display of like their history, but it's not like encompassing all of video games, and it's mainly just like a merch store. So it's like a cool little add-on, but like this is something like, it's almost like a cross between like your childhood, an arcade, and a museum. So
speaking of arcade, they have one of those. One of their permanent exhibits is gonna be like a fully functioning 80s arcade. It's gonna be super cool. They're also going to have something they're calling a timeline of consoles, so they didn't really go into too much detail on it. What I'm imagining they could do, and I think it'd be really cool, is if you've got this really long hallway and you just walk through and you've got consoles starting at like the Odyssey or whatever you want to start with, and you get all the way up to the current gen consoles, Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, whatever.
Yeah.
So, Video Game Museum, it's gonna be super cool. I'm super hyped. I'm totally gonna go when it opens. Speaking of which, they are having a scavenger hunt in the city of Frisco for their grand opening. On their official Facebook page, they are giving out clues to the locations of tickets to the grand opening, which I've heard they're pretty cheap anyways, but they're also limited in number, which is why it's such a cool thing to do. So it's going to be a great thing for the city of Frisco. It's going to be a great thing for gaming in general.